Now it's time to talk about another indie hidden gem, or aka independent animation project on YouTube. And today we'll talk about specifically Pingo, created by Craig. Now this independent project was sort of a very interesting watch because just by the design itself, it just grabbed your attention because the design is just so simplistic but almost early 2000s ish in a way, especially the vibe because it feels something from Cartoon Network, the run of basically the Grim Adventures of Billy and Andy. If you remember that classic cartoon from Cartoon Network, because if you told me if this cartoon made for that time period, I was basically will believe it because how sort of gory and creative it sort of flipped the script when you start watching, because you click on this, you expect something very humble, in other words, very slice of life because of the arsa and cutesy. And now the very beginning straight out tells you this is a gore fest, especially you follow a little girl who calls Pain, who is basically like a little demon, but even worse, she was possessed to be even evil-ish in a way because it doesn't really affect her because she was truly evil before. It's one of those that self-aware, going crazy, but yet very kind of friendly cartoon meant for little kids. At least that's how you assume when you start watching. No, this is meant for the adults that sort of twisted, sort of early 2000s edgelords. And you know what? It works. It doesn't work all the time, but it works enough. You could see this having so much potential, especially the art style. The art style just grab your attention, especially you also realize the creator, Craig, actually did the animation. Not just the animation, he did everything. It's like you see the credit scenes, every single credit belongs to the same person, the creator on that YouTube channel. So yeah, I could see him taking a long time doing this project because it looked like it did. It's one of those, it's not perfect, but it scratches that itch that sort of kind of trying to be cute but yet horrible. It's sort of Ren and Stimpy Adventures of Billy and Andy, that sort of edgy 2000s. It done so well, so interesting. Of course, before I breaking down even more, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing that you need to do, or at least one of them. But if not, that's fine. But do thank you, because of you, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And every single day, I'm getting close to my main goal of 2,000. Thank you. Of course, thanks for the people who like, comment, share. It always helps. Now, they started with the review of Pin Girl. Now, story of Pin Girl is not really that deep. It's very simple. It's point A to point B. The whole plot is basically Pin Girl wants to go out and eat sort of ice cream, and she takes her dumb mommy cat and calls her sister to help her to go to the store. And things get crazy because Pin sort of asked for a specific flavor ice cream they did not have, and sort of give her an excuse to become a murderer in a way. That sort of kind of cue you realize when she asked that specific question, you should run away, because the whole party points out she has a sort of kind of red flag to be to notice that yeah, things are about to be crazier. But I love it. It's sort of the insanity of the funness of this sort of pilot, because it does try to be sort of creative, also show you sort of kind of fan-made animated scenes, because they do point out kind of anime sort of tropes in a way. I think that's the best way to describe about this pilot. It feels like a Japanese attempted to make a animated, a Western cartoon now, or something like Pippi and Stocking type of thing. In fact, this could be a spin-off of that series because it feels super similar to that one in a way. But no, this is like completely Western style animation, and I just sort of felt fully interesting and vibing with this show. Even that it's not perfect, but I could see you can improve so many things and make it this a full fun show given to the right company to actually polish the sort of issues it really has. But other than that, just the designs, I think the mostly just the designs just sells the show. The sort of simplistic sort of art stuff. For example, like Payne herself, she's just sort of a little girl, but her design is just so simplistic and cutesy, but yet you know she's a monster. You could easily sell this sort of hot topic shirts. Or not her, even her sister, that she is sort of completely sort of generic scene, I don't care, your pain type of character, but yet she just really stands out to having sort of like a tattoo of her or a face on her shirt or a billboard or something like that. You could quite literally sell these characters because the character's aesthetic, it's just so good and visually interesting. It's one of those a cutesy, murderous, but only edgelord knows this exists. And this is the thing I just really grasps your attention, because this is a very smart ploy to sell your own pilot, because it is a very artistically interesting animation. But of course, the comedy is still good. I have to say it before. It's something like Ren and Stimpy. If you've never seen Ren and Stimpy or Billy and Andy of the Ventures of Billy and Andy Adventures of Grimm, in other words. If you've not seen those two shows, that shows are very dark, very gory, but the first images you don't really realize that you should start actually watching. And this is the same thing that I hope it got popular enough to maybe motivate the creator to do the second episode, or got lucky enough to get noticed on the major networks to actually buy it and give it a chance to give it one full length season, because it feels it could be big if done right, but at the same time you don't know they can actually execute it correctly, because how very little story it has. It's one of those that you don't know. You sure this is a pilot, not a short? But because I meant that, because you look at it like IMB, they kind of made it as a short, not as a pilot, because it's sort of obvious. You have that sort of vibe. It's sort of one and done sort of short, but it's done so kind of funnish that I can see why the creator want to make this to a animated series, because how the insanity, the self-awareness, all the psychopathic little things, and also sort of the commentary, because there is some commentary of this short, like for example, Payne sort of commentating where she got arrested and going in prison. She only being in prison for a year or two, and that's it. It's just sort of kind of weird and strange, but also very truthful of real life. So this one, it sort of have kind of undertone commentary, but I don't know it done it on purpose or by accident. But other than that, it's one of those that I can see a lot of people just loving it. In fact, I've seen some art online tribute to this sort of cartoon, because the cartoon, it is good. It is not a high 10 out of 10. You could say around 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. It's just the visuals itself. You can see this could do more. It's just the running kind of lacks a little bit more. But I did have to admit, I sort of did like the dynamic of Payne and a cat, like the demon, that he trying to convince it to be evil. Like, there is no point, I am evil. That sort of ironic, like I kind of wasted my time. He became more like influenced her more like a buddy who was scared of her friend, and that's just sort of interesting, because every time he trying to be scary, the demon, Payne just kind of like, what are you doing? I'm trying to be threatened, like an intro, and like she says, why? For real? When you do this? And he responds like, yeah, I do this all the time. Really? Like, this is something that she is not as scared of him. When you watch how he looks, you kind of get it, but yet at the same time, that's sort of the self-aware joke of it, but also saying so much of her that she doesn't have the idea of fear. That's sort of understanding their relationship and building on that. It's just sort of kind of fun, in other words. But at the same time, you kind of get also the relationship at TikTok and Payne. Like, TikTok is sort of her big sister, but she is aware she is sort of a sociopath, her little sister. But I also love her mom, that she's sort of kind of like an airhead. She's only appeared 2 times, but you understand the relationship that she's just sort of unplugged. Like she doesn't not aware her daughters are Betsy's psychopath and she doesn't really care, or maybe she does care, or not really self-aware, at least for now. I mean, you could build on that to something very funny out there kind of idea. Of course, the whole anime or pilot, I mean, feels super like Japanese. I mean, kind of a Japanese sort of approach of a Western cartoon that would believe this is a anime cartoon an American will make. In other words, in a way, yes, but at the same time, you still have that Western vibe inside. Like they're trying to figure out which way we go, the Japanese way or the Western way, and yet it's kind of fun to see this sort of strange ideas. In fact, I think that's the best way to describe the art style. It's very kawaii kind of cuteness. You could sell plushies of all three main characters, or sell the world of t-shirts and toys, and it will sell pretty well because these characters are just so visually appealing onwards. This is what I mean. You could actually sell this sort of on Hot Topic onwards. But other than that, I really don't have much to say. Just that. Have you seen Penguin? Are you interested? Or you think this sort of not as good, but still very entertaining? Tell me down below your honest opinion, how you felt about this pilot. If you have seen it, it's something I recommend if you like basically like Ren Stimpy or Billy and the Adventures. In other words, if you like those shows, you may like this one, but it's not as funny, is it? But still give it a chance because still very enjoyable, especially if you're that type of person you grew up sort of the grunge era or that sort of Hot Topic kind of phase. You still kind of like it, but you got over it. You still kind of hungry for a little bit. Yeah, this one kind of scratched that itch, especially if you're an artist who want to draw something. It's part of the perfect show to redraw some of the characters because the characters are just so well designed. I mean, even the demon, he's just sort of this cute, weird, flushing demon who trying to do evil, even that he's completely pointless. But yet, I think that's basically the running gag. But other than that, all the designs are just so good in a way. It's just sort of amazing how much well this actually made for an indie project, because usually indies are 80% done, between 60 or 80% done, sometimes even less, like maybe 20% is just boarded. But this one is just fully done. This is professionally ready to pitch on the big networks kind of vibe. This is the reason why I kind of recommend to see how you feel. Have you seen this pilot? Tell me your comments if you've seen it. Do you like it? Do you hate it? You feel nostalgia watching this? Tell me down below. I got nothing really else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.